All right, welcome back to Teacher Talk. This is episode 2 with Miss Hellem, teacher of the medical program. All right, so just a few questions. First one, what interests you in the medical field?
Well, I'm an athletic trainer by trade, so I was always the kid that played sports, and then I got hurt, and so I spent a lot of time with my athletic trainer, and so that really kind of got me going down that path of working in the medical field to help other people that were injured during sports. That was my love.
Okay. And what opened your idea to teach a medical class?
So I actually, while I was doing athletic training, I actually had affiliations with multiple colleges and had athletic training students, and I loved having students all the time. I also wanted to be a teacher before that, so I kind of combined my two loves, and so I started teaching athletic training students, and then I started teaching in different colleges, ultimately leading me down this path where a job opening came up in the high school, and I took it. So now I teach medical students.
Okay, nice. How long have you been the med teacher?
This is my second year here at Dakota teaching med careers.
Okay. How long have you been teaching at other schools?
So I have, I've taught off and on in various colleges for maybe a total of 3 years over my career.
Okay. What kind of things, like hands-on things, are done in the class?
We do lots of hands-on stuff. We do a lot with patient care. So we do a lot of work with our personal protective equipment. We have a lab that has hospital beds and mannequins. And so we do a lot of patient care involved with that. We teach our patients how to use walkers, canes, crutches. All of our kids learn how to do CPR and first aid. So there's a lot of hands-on learning with that. We try to incorporate hands-on within the class as much as we can, honestly.
Okay. And how many of your students end up actually going into the medical field?
I think that's a really good question. I actually don't know the answer to that question. I have 115 students as juniors in Med 1, so there are 66 spots to go into Med 2, to go to the hospital and do the work-based learning part. But ultimately, that doesn't determine whether or not they go into the medical field. So really we'd have to track and follow those 115. And I'm sure there's some data out there tracking that, but that's why it's so important for us to follow up with our students. I don't actually know the answer to that question, but we do get kids all the time in med school reaching out to all of the med teachers and telling them how thankful they are for the experience they had here at high school, which is really helping them in college.
Okay, well, it's always good to have practice beforehand.
Exactly.
What is a positive of working with high school students?
High school students keep me young. I think they keep me on my toes. They keep me in the now, and they're a lot of fun. They really are.
Okay, and what would you say is a negative of working with high school students? Like, what do you see as a challenge?
I find a challenge to be work ethic, honestly, and their phones. So we are distracted on our phones. We aren't really focused on learning. And so we try to limit the amount of phones that exist within our classroom, because honestly, in the profession of the medical career, you're not on your phone. And also just work ethic. I think the generation it wants a lot of things just handed to them. They don't want to work for a lot of things, and something in the medical field is a lot of work. There's a lot of knowledge behind it, and there's a lot of things you need to learn how to physically do as much as you know in your head. And so really wanting to learn and doing better and being better is really the challenge.
Okay. So what would you do if you were not associated with the medical field at all?
It's a good question. So before I wanted to be an athletic trainer, I wanted to be a teacher, which I'm kind of doing and combining. But I think before that, I really wanted to do like marine biology. So like I always wanted to help people, I guess. So maybe helping animals is very similar to that. But I was kind of wanted to swim with dolphins and train orcas, and that's what I wanted to do when I was younger. But I've been kind of set on my path for so long. I don't know what I would do. I do make cookies in my spare time, so I do like to bake.
Okay.
Other than that.
And you have brought up being an athletic trainer. How long have you been the athletic trainer for Chippewa Valley for?
So I, career-wise, I've been an athletic trainer for 18 years, and I spent 7 years over at Chippewa Valley High School. I am no longer doing both jobs, so I'm just teaching this year. But it's my first time not actively working all the time. I do work contingently here and there when the need to fill in exists, but that's where I'm at.
Okay. All right. Well, that looks like all the questions I have for you. Thank you for your time. And yeah, that's
No problem.